Have you ever sat at your desk for 6, 8, even 10 hours a day trying to study, and yet your grades barely move? You tell yourself, I need more motivation. I need to try harder. I'm just not smart enough. Wrong. Let me tell you something you've never heard before. Studying longer does not mean learning more. In fact, most toppers, geniuses, and Olympiad rankers aren't working harder than you. They're working differently. Their secret? They don't waste time studying like normal students. They study like machines for just 3 hours a day and still finish the entire syllabus, master complex topics, and walk into exams with absolute certainty that they'll top it. And no, this isn't some motivational fantasy. It's real, it's strategic, it's replicable. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how they do it. But before we go deeper, let me give you a warning. This method isn't about pushing yourself harder. It's about reprogramming your brain, rebuilding how you study from the ground up. Because let's face it, what school taught you about learning is broken. They gave you textbooks, notes, and deadlines, and told you to memorize and repeat. But no one ever taught you how to learn like a genius. You were never taught how to compress time, how to make 3 hours more powerful than someone else's entire day. But that's exactly what I'm about to show you. And here's the brainwashing truth I need you to accept right now. If you're studying more than 3 hours a day and still not topping your exams, you're doing it wrong. The problem isn't you. The problem is your method. And today, we fix it. Because what I'm about to reveal is a technique so powerful, so unfair, and so efficient, it almost feels like cheating reality. This isn't your typical Feynman technique or Pomodoro nonsense. Those are basic tools, like using a spoon to dig a tunnel. What I'm going to give you is a laser cutter, precision, focus, speed, a method so sharp it eliminates 90% of your wasted time and leaves only the 3 hours that actually move your brain forward. But let me ask you one question first. When was the last time you finished a study session and said, I absorbed everything. I actually understand it, and I can recall it instantly? Rare, right? That's because you've been operating in what I call fake work mode. It looks like studying. It feels like effort, but it's empty. You read, highlight, take notes, watch videos, revise, and yet, a week later, poof, it's gone. That's not learning. That's mental masturbation. Endless repetition with no retention. You see, your brain isn't lazy. It's just smart. It throws out information it doesn't consider valuable. So unless you study in a way that forces the brain to lock in, you're just pouring water into a leaky bucket. But the method I'm about to show you does the opposite. It doesn't beg your brain to remember. It hijacks your memory systems. It creates hyper-efficiency in just 3 hours a day, using a technique I call the compress and spike protocol. And once you install this protocol, something insane will happen. You'll study in 3 hours what used to take you 10. You'll recall facts during exams like your mind is auto-searching Google. And best of all, you'll stop dreading study time because it becomes fast, sharp, and addictive. This is what toppers secretly do. They don't follow the crowd. They manipulate their schedule, their environment, their biology, and they spike their cognition in short bursts. And the system I'm going to give you will do the same. But here's the catch. If you watch this video like entertainment, you'll gain nothing. But if you watch it like a blueprint, take notes, and install what I show you, you will become unrecognizable in the next 30 days. Because remember, it's not about studying more. It's about studying right. And 3 hours is more than enough. If you know exactly what to do during those 3 hours. So, if you're ready to destroy fake productivity, unlock your hidden mental potential, and finally become one of the few who don't just study, but dominate, then stay with me till the end. Because this might be the last study video you'll ever need. Let's begin. Now that you understand the core idea, that you only need 3 hours a day to master anything, it's time to break down exactly how to do it. This isn't about motivation. It's not about waking up early or studying late. It's about one thing: installing the compress and spike protocol. So, what is this? It's a three-phase method used by the smartest students and memory athletes on the planet. They don't call it this, of course, because most of them don't even realize what they're doing. But after analyzing hundreds of elite learners and applying it myself, this is the blueprint that works every single time. Let's break it down. Phase 1. Compress, 60 minutes. Compress means this. You remove everything that doesn't move your brain forward. When most students study, they waste 70% of their time doing passive activities. Rereading notes, watching lectures, copying formulas, highlighting books, revising by staring at pages. Let's be real, this is not studying. This is procrastination disguised as work. In compress mode, we don't touch that garbage. We go straight into input compression, a powerful technique where you force your brain to extract the core idea from each chapter, topic, or lecture. Here's how. 1. Open your textbook or video source. Set a timer for 60 minutes. 3. For each section, ask, what is the one thing this is trying to teach me? 4. Write that in your own words, in 1 to 2 sentences on paper. This forces your brain to summarize, extract, and restructure the information, not just absorb it. This process automatically triggers deeper encoding in your brain. You're telling your brain, this is important, store this. It's fast, brutal, and unforgettable. By the end of the 60 minutes, you will have compressed an entire chapter into a half page of raw, high-value insight. And guess what? That insight is now locked in. Phase 2. Spike, 90 minutes. This is where the real magic happens. Spike is short for cognitive spike training, a neurological hack to force your brain to engage with high-voltage energy. Think of it like this. Most people study at a flat line. Low focus, low energy, medium results. We spike your brainwave patterns. We enter a super absorption state. And we do this using a tool called explosive recall loops. Here's the formula. 1. Take the compressed notes from phase 1. 2. For each line, close your eyes and ask, can I explain this without looking? Can I recreate this from scratch? 3. If you can't, you rewrite or speak it out loud until you can. This sounds simple, but it's not. It's mentally intense. Your brain sweats. But this is the exact moment when real memory is built. This is where exam recall is programmed. This is where your neurons form long-term bonds with the material. Now repeat that process for 90 minutes. No distractions, no half effort. This is a deliberate brain sculpting session. You are literally upgrading your RAM, speed, and storage with each round. This 90-minute spike is equal to 4 to 5 hours of normal revision. Why? Because it mimics the same stress, speed, and pressure as exam conditions. Your brain remembers what it feels. Phase 3. Lock in 30 minutes. Most people forget what they study after 3 days. Not you. The final step is to lock it in. This is where we use neuro-reinforcement recall. Here's how. At the end of the day, before bed, you take 30 minutes and rapid-fire test yourself on everything you compressed and spiked earlier. But you don't look at your notes. You write it from memory. Whatever you forget, highlight it. Those are your weak zones. This last 30-minute session seals your memory during the sleep cycle. During deep sleep, your brain performs what scientists call synaptic consolidation. Basically, it strengthens whatever was active right before bed. So instead of dreaming about Instagram or stress, you train your mind to dream about knowledge. You literally wake up smarter. Total time, 3 hours. Let's recap. 60 minutes. Compress. Extract core insights from study material. 90 minutes. Spike. Explosive recall, plus mental pressure training. 30 minutes lock-in. Night recall, plus memory sealing. This is how toppers actually study. No fluff, no fake effort. Just focused, lethal, brain-burning sessions, and then full rest. And here's the dark truth. You don't need 8 hours to master a subject. You just need to remove the time-wasting garbage you were taught to rely on. 3 hours, every day, focused like a weapon, and you'll dominate exams like a machine. Want proof? Try this for 7 days. Track how much you remember, how fast you finish chapters, how confident you feel, and then compare that to any week where you studied for 6 hours like before. You'll never go back, because once your brain gets a taste of this system, once you realize how fast you can consume, absorb, and command information, studying becomes addictive. You won't just top your exams, you'll become the student everyone else copies. If this method woke something up inside you, if it made you realize how much time you've been wasting, then tell me in the comments, what's the first subject you're going to dominate with this 3-hour method? Math, science, law, med school? I read every comment, and I'll personally reply to those who are serious about installing this system. Because this isn't just about exams anymore. This is about becoming unbeatable.